Hello, this is Debbie Kay with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're talking today with candidates running in the November 5th, 2024 general election. The League of Women Voters is grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Heart-Free Pham, running for Portland's City Council in District 3, which covers most of Southeast Portland. Welcome, Mr. Pham.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Glad you're here today. Let's get started. Please tell us a little about yourself and why you are running for this office.
Well, I'm born and raised in Portland, Oregon. I'm talking with you in the Kearns neighborhood, close to 30th and Burnside. I went to MLC across the river from kindergarten to 8th grade, and I went to Benson Polytechnic for high school. And I got involved in politics in 2016 when I worked for the Bernie Sanders campaign, from New Hampshire and across 7 states all the way to California. And ever since then, I've kind of been a little bit of a political hound. And when I came home and started seeing the direction of my city was going, I thought it was time to, instead of just advocating, to actually get my hands a little dirty in the process.
Thank you. What are your ideas for working productively with the other council members from your district?
Well, I've been campaigning for some months now, and it seems like the biggest concern out of all the 4 districts are the candidates coming from District 3. Candidates from District 1, 2, and 4 are all worried about how they're going to get along with candidates from my district. And I think that might have something to do with our progressive policies and ideological pursuits, and sometimes putting the immediate and most important needs of Portlanders behind far and away pursuits that are like far beyond the reach of a city council. So my hope, if I win District 3, is to sort of rein in the expectations of what a local city councilor can do. And I think the candidates from all the other districts are on that board, on that same page.
Thanks. Tell us, what, if any, actions would you consider taking to address the current concerns related to the critical energy infrastructure hub on the Willamette River?
From my understanding, Senate Bill 1567 required those companies to perform risk assessments for seismic in the event of a seismic event. And they were supposed to disclose those findings on June 1st, 2024. But according to a report by KGW, no one has reported their findings, or they didn't tell KGW what they found. Only Zenith Energy did. And their assessment was they only needed to change a couple things, a few pipes, no big changes to make it seismic proof in case of an event. Seems a little skeptical to me. I wonder if we should allow these companies to regulate themselves in terms of safety assessments. So I would like the city or county or probably state to run their own assessments to verify the findings of these companies that assess themselves.
Thank you. You are listening to Video Voters Guide, interview and podcast of Heart-Free Pham, who is running for Portland City Council, District 3. Our next question: are you satisfied with the performance of the Joint Office of Homeless Services? If not, what changes would you support? Please explain your answer.
No, I'm not satisfied. I don't think anyone is really satisfied. Even the Oversight Commission for the Joint Office for Homelessness isn't satisfied. I've met with that candidate a few times, Daniel DeMello, and he pressed the committee to just promise whatever funds you get, can you promise that you will at least get one homeless person off the street? And they couldn't do that, which, if you can't promise to put one person off the street, then I don't know why you're getting hundreds of millions of dollars to basically fail at your job. Since 2017, they spent $417 million trying to address homelessness, and the problem has only gotten worse. So, no, I'm not satisfied with their performance so far.
Okay. What skills, experience, and interests distinguish you from other candidates for this position?
Well, I studied biochemistry in college, so I'm driven by logic and math and practicality. So I won't, if a plan doesn't make sense on paper, I probably won't support it. And a lot of candidates now are promising this and promising that without really taking into account the funding shortfall Portland has. I think this year they're facing a $70 million budget deficit. PBOT alone was facing $20 million deficit. And at the same time, people are asking for bike lanes and electric buses, and we just don't have the money for it. The only reason Portland isn't totally in the hole right now is because of unforeseen funds coming from PSEP. So I would approach problems pragmatically, but with compassion and empathy that characterizes a Portlander.
Thank you. Which, if any, strategies described in the draft 2024 Portland Housing Production Strategy could or would you support?
You know, they say they're going to build all these houses, but they don't really account for people that make less than 60% median family income. The inclusionary housing program only accounts for 60% and 80% median family income, which isn't affordable even if you're making those wages. But according to the projections by the Portland Housing Bureau and OPB, 47% of all new housing by 2045 is going to be needed for people making less than 60% median family income. And there's nothing down the pipeline for that kind of affordable housing. My plan to address that is to use hemp blocks to create more housing, start a state enterprise, partner with nonprofits, surrounding counties, surrounding cities, maybe even the state, to bring the hemp block industry to Portland. It's not hempcrete. Hempcrete is used for insulation. Hemp blocks are a composite product. So it's the wall, it's the frame, it's the structural body, it's the insulation, it's the vapor conduit, it's the electrical conduits, all in one modular 25-pound block that kind of work like Legos. You stack them on top of each other. And there's a lot of eco benefits to it. Hemp sequesters more carbon than it emits during its manufacturing process. Framing a house is 80% faster than traditional stick framing using hemp blocks, because all you're doing is stacking blocks on top of each other. It doesn't require advanced level masonry like normal bricklaying does, because the blocks are self-leveling. It would also be an economic boon for the state. We could inject some funds into our hemp manufacturing industry, and it would address the much needed concern of building affordable housing that lasts years, hundreds of years, because hemp petrifies over time. So it's a creative way.
Thank you. I'm afraid I have to cut you off. We're running out of time. I appreciate your detailed response. This concludes the League of Women Voters of Portland Video Voters Guide and podcast interview of Heart Free Pham, running for Portland City Council District 3. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. To find additional election resources, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland website, lwvpdx.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Your voice matters. Thank you for your attention.